And what is your name?
Hi, my name is McSharry.
And where did you hear about us?
I actually stumbled upon you because I moved to South Carolina and I had a lot of peripheral neuropathy problems. I mean, I basically almost couldn't walk, and I was pretty desperate because I needed to fix it, and you happened to be close by, so I came by to take a look, and I liked your story.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, though I moved to Boston, just outside of Boston, a couple different areas for a long period of time, and then I moved down here. Also lived in Hawaii for a brief time.
And what kind of problems were you dealing with?
Loss of all sensation in my feet. I had swelling, like fluid retention and swelling from my waist down to my feet. I had been on water pills. I forget the name of the procedure, but where they actually puncture you and drain fluid out of your body in order to control the swelling, which was an ER admission to intensive care before I came here. And so, yeah, I basically was losing control of the lower half of my body.
How often were you having these problems?
It was constant.
And how were these problems affecting your life with your friends and family?
Well, I mean, I became basically a shut-in because it was very difficult and painful for me to walk anywhere.
Now, as a result of the care you've been receiving here, what kind of changes have you noticed?
Well, I mean, initially, I was skeptical, like I think a lot of people are when, because I'd been to a doctor at Boston Mass General, which is the Harvard feeding hospital. I mean, this is top-end medical institution that told me I was screwed and that there was nothing they could do to help me, and that the only thing they could do was give me gabapentin, which I refused to take. And so I was skeptical that I could solve this because Western medicine told me that it was unfixable, but I refused to believe them, and so I started doing this. Initially, it was a really big eye-opening moment for me about how much of this was my fault, and that how long I had been abusing my body consistently for years and years and years and years that led up to this, and that there was no way that I could expect it to magically just disappear overnight.
Now, what have other people noticed about you?
I think everybody can see that I'm much more healthy than I was before. I literally was, I mean, I'm a pretty skinny guy. I had lost probably about 40 pounds from where I am right now. And I've gained that all back, and most of it's been muscle. But it hasn't been easy, I'm not gonna lie to you. It took a lot of discipline to get here.
Now, what can you do now that you couldn't do before?
I haven't tried running, but I can walk miles without discomfort. I can do physical exercise. I can lift weights. I can even do leg presses and things like that, calf raises, things that would have been excruciatingly painful for me to even attempt previously.
What else in your life has changed?
Well, I kind of embraced this whole entire concept and expanded upon it to some degree because I realized that the only way I was really going to get better was treating this holistically instead of just going after my feet. The problem was actually more systemic across my entire body and it just happened to be appearing in my feet because of the fact that they don't get as much blood flow as a lot of the rest of your body in many cases. At least that's my take on it.
Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I think one of the most critical misunderstandings that most people have about these kind of programs is they think that it's going to be easy and that it's going to be magical. And it is easy and magical if you look at it in the right perspective, because you probably spent decades and decades pumping stuff into your body that you knew wasn't good for you. And you also probably didn't exercise or were as active as you knew you should have been. And we all have reasons for that. I am just as guilty as anybody else, but to get better, you have to overcome that and you have to listen to what these people are telling you and follow every single word of their instructions, because if you don't, you're just hurting yourself. There's no reason to pay for this and then not do everything you can to get your feet back, because it is your feet, and what is that worth to you?